Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League for the Equal Performance. This is what would technically be round 5, it's actually going to be round 4 for the season. This is the Belgian Grand Prix. Now, before we get into the race, I will just explain. Last week's race of the Canadian Grand Prix was unfortunately sort of null and voided. It will be rerun in the break week due to basically a massive settings difference. Obviously, when the lobby got reset, it didn't put the settings back correctly, even though they were loaded. So that got null and voided. So this now becomes round number 4 for the season. And round number 4 comes from the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit. It's a staple of the F1 calendar since, well, probably the 1983. It's been on the calendar every year since then. First hosted a Grand Prix in 1925 and was used to be a lot longer, a lot more dangerous back in the old days. Located in Stavelot, Belgium. Opened in 1921, so it's 103 years old. Is this circuit opened up in August of 1921? Again, holds a multitude of different series: Formula 1, Intercontinental GT, World Endurance, even Endurance World Championship, obviously European Le Mans, Ferrari Challenge. All sorts of stuff. Obviously, they've had bikes on there as well, and I've just been informed they've also had rallycross actually over on up through Eau Rouge. I've also just been told by our good old weatherman Jack Millington potentially rain towards the end of the race, and it will probably be hard medium strategy in whatever order that comes to. But yeah, the circuit is 7 kilometres long, 4.352 miles, consists of 19 corners. The race lap record is held by Sergio Perez in the RB20 Red Bull from 2024 with a 1 minute 44.701. So we head into this qualifying session, 18 minutes, and it's quite an awkward one actually, this, because it's quite a long lap, so you kind of don't get as many runs as you would do on other circuits. Now you do have to plan your session that a little bit more. Let's see who we got in tonight though. We've got Ginger Tiger, Mikey RK13, Clips Kiri, Kent, Massive Marshall, Maras, Typhoon, Stephen, It's the Cat, Jack TM53 Synopsis, they're just going down towards Eau Rouge. Sir Spud, The Leg, Crixik, Gattuso and Keza all in for tonight. And I think it's the 2 Red Bulls. No, not the 2 Red Bulls at the front, it's Massive Marshall up front. So we'll go on board with a lap with Massive Marshall. So out of the bus stop chicane. Bring it across the left as the DRS is open towards La Source. A hairpin right. Nice and tucked in. Gotta be careful. Gravel on the outside. That's going to be interesting come the race. Into Eau Rouge. Flick it left, flick it right. Left over the top of Radion. And then down the Camel straight. This is where we're going to see a lot of overtaking. DRS wide open as we head down to Le Combe. Brake around 50 metres is ridiculously late braking in these cars. After Le Combe you go through Malmedy and down to Bruel. Off camber, right hander, easy to run wide, also easy to spin at the rears and spin the car. Left through the corner with no name at turn 11. And then down the hill towards Pouon. This double apex left hander. Hit the first one, bring it wide, and then go drift it back in for the second apex. We're going to bring it back to the left as we head to the La Fania chicane. Flick it right, flick it left, then down towards its campus and Stavelot campus. easy to get it wrong, especially again with the gravel on the outside. You haven't got much wiggle room. Through Stavolo, absolutely flat, and then up through Claude Pourfrere. It's just a flat right-hander. Blanchimont is going to come up next. Down a gear for Massive Marshall, which is interesting because it should be a flat corner in these cars. Into the bus stop chicane, down to second gear, get it rotated to the right, try and open up the left, and Massive Marshall just about keeps the car in a straight line. A 1:45.3 from the RB. Ginger Tiger on the lap with the mediums. Mikey RK, we've also got, I think that's Keza coming up to the line. He's actually invalidated his lap. So he's going to have to go again, which is not really ideal. Gattuso on an out lap. I think Typhoon might be the next person on a fast lap. Number 41, Aston Martin. Also good evening to Spud and O'Stephen. Both out on circuit from the Kick Sauber camp. As Typhoon enters the bus stop chicane for his first flying attempt. Up to the line, and it's 1:44.4. We've got O'Stephen up into third. I think that should be Jack coming across the line. There's Mikey, sorry, 1:45.1 from Mikey. Slots in just ahead of Massive Marshall. Jack TM53 Synopsis coming up to the bus stop. We've also got the Mercedes. Ginger Tiger goes quickest on the mediums. Jack across the line. 5th place for now, but I don't think he was using full ERS mode on that one. So more time to come. I think Gattuso letting someone through. Is that going to be, yes, Kent coming up to the start-finish line. 43.9, provisional pole position for the Red Bull and the second place driver in the standings. So I think 2 points behind Jack, if I remember correctly, heading into this 4th round. And the two Haas's coming along. Clips Carey goes fast as a 1:43.8. I think there's Massive Marshall possibly coming. No, it's Keza. Is he actually going to complete the lap? He is. And he puts himself on up to the top 5 for Keza. A 1:44.5. Massive Marshall. Apparently running on the overtake, but he's definitely not on a quick lap. You got Stephen out there. He's going 2 seconds quicker, so he is on another lap. Oh, it's a bit of a wiggle through Blanchimont. Just keeps it held though. So he enters the bus stop chicane. Trying to open it up as much as you can. Up to the line, and it's 6th place for Stephen. A 1:44.6. Mikey returns to the pits. Ginger Tiger. Not any ERS, so I'm going to guess he's going to come back into the pits. And yes, he does. We should have, I think that's Sir Spud starting a lap. We've got Jack, who is not on a lap, but I don't know whether he may be gearing up to go again. I think he's got, looking at the steering wheel, he's got enough fuel. Oh, he's almost spun it towards the pit lane. Just about gets it back in time to start his second flying lap. So we'll run on board then with the championship leader as we enter La Source. 3rd gear for the McLaren. Down the hill as Gattuso goes fast as a 1:42.7. Showed good pace last week in the not Canadian Grand Prix. DRS open for Jack. We head down the Kemmel, 208 miles an hour. Very late on the brakes, just about gets it turned in. I'm going to say he probably hasn't had a good run through Lecombe there. Just ran deep in the first corner, didn't really hit the apex. Through into Bruel he goes. Does it run wide, tries to square it up, opens up the steering wheel. Turn 11. A lot of curb used on the entry to that. And we head down through toward Pouhon. Drop it a gear, sling it in, keeps it tight as well, so that's good stuff from Jack, keeping it tight. Shorten the distance of the corner into Lafania. 6th gear through Lafania. This used to be like 2nd and 3rd gear corners in F1. Now 6th gear for Jack. as he enters Campus and Stavolo. Looking like a good lap so far, this from Jack through Paul Ferret. And Blanchimont, got to be flat. Surely is flat. Yes, it is. I think Massive Marshall, I don't know whether this setup may not be very nice for Blanchimont. 100 metres, hits the brake. We've used all of the ERS. As we head out of the bus stop chicane, DRS open, cross the line, and it's a 43.746. Second place for the championship leader. We have Maras coming up to the line. I'm going to say he's probably going to head into the pits. Yes, he does. It's a Ferrari, I think, of Krixik. He was quick last week. He puts the 43.1 to put himself into second place. Gattuso still the only person in the 1 minute 42s. Tiger on our outlap. Who else we've got? We've got Typhoon. Now I'll post Stephen. Where's Spud2? Not on a flying. Well, I say not on a flying lap. He's running medium ERS, so I'm going to say that he was on a flying lap and something's gone wrong there for the Sauber driver. Interesting though, he's got on the medium compounder tyre. Mikey looking like maybe he's only going to go for 2 sort of runs in the McLaren. On another fly? No, he's on 1.3 down. Sort of like a quiet period, because now I think people are going to be fueling up to have at least 2 attempts here, because you're not at this point. You're not going to go out, do a lap, come back in, and get another lap in afterwards. So Mikey now out of the McLaren garage. He's coming out for his final 2. I'd say 2 runs here. Well, the leg. So he's going to get a bit of a draft here from Cat, his teammate. Well, it's not really ideal positioning though. Cat just a little bit of hesitancy from the leg. I wouldn't have held him to Blanchimont, but it's going to be a 44.0. And 6th place for the Alpine, and now he's going to try and tow It's the Cat all the way down through Eau Rouge and Le Combe, or down towards Le Combe, sorry, down the Kemmel Straight. This could be a huge benefit for It's the Cat. On board we go. Let's see what sort of speed he's going to get. DRS open. Great teamwork from the Alpines. It's a 213 miles an hour. So you think about it, we were on board with Jack, he was doing 208 by himself. And It's the Cat, he's had a really nice entry point into Le Combe. As we go through Malmedy, that was a really, really nice entry into Le Combe. So using all of that advantage there. He's got to try and carry this all the way down the hill and towards the start-finish line. But the Alpine is certainly working well for It's the Cat. Down to Lafania. Now that green bar shows how much deploy he's got left from the battery. Or how much battery power usage he's got left in this lap. He's still got quite a lot. Although that's going to deplete very quickly, because then this is absolutely flat out now. Now he's using a bit of overtake, so it depletes even quicker. Deploy is used. He's out of electrical energy. I'd say maybe just a little bit too early. But he heads into the final bus stop chicane up towards the line. What's it going to be? It's looking like a good time. It's a 1 minute 44.4. Top 10 for now for the Cat. Keza currently going a little bit faster than his previous time through Sector 1, but Sector 2 is where you'll make up the most time through the corners, carrying the momentum. 8 tenths to the good. So that's going to put him currently on 43.7 here, which is going to boost him up towards around 4th area. Where is Keza going to slot in here? Not really touching the curve through the bus stop chicane. It's a 43.7. It's 5th place for Keza. So we can do maths in the commentary box. Mikey is going to have to go again. Gone into the pits. That's a bit of a brave move from Mikey. He's going to have to make sure he's in and straight back out. So we got people on and out lap now, preparing for their final runs of the session. Good evening, DeLang. How are you, mate? Long time no see, as they say. Hopefully you're well. As YB Maris OJ coming through Rouge Radion, getting onto that Camel straight. What can he achieve with the DRS? 208 mile an hour seems to be the peak when you don't have another car in front of you. Down the hill towards Burrell. This is such an interesting line that from Aris, using all the road and some grass. Not sure I'd be looking to dirty up the tyres going into Burrell, because that's a difficult corner just by itself, let alone turning in when you've got dirty tyres on the left hand side. Good to hear, Delang, good to hear. And yeah, Maris has backed out of that lap. It was very, very odd, that lap. Gattuso, current pole sitter, down through the Camel straight he goes. What's his time through Sector 1? It's a 30.854. He's 0.125 down on his current best time. He's the only person in the 42s, and he has a good gap of about 4 tenths of a second. Through Bruel and into the corner with no name, which has a name. That's the corner with no name. This is the critical sector here in sort of the qualifying lap, because almost everywhere else is pretty much flat out sort of pace. This is the one where you're going to make time up on the brakes, be nice and smooth, get through the corners as clean as you can. Interesting that Gattuso using medium through there. He's gone purple. It's a 3 tenths of a second to the good on his own time. He's looking at 42.4. He hasn't got many corners to negotiate, just 3 in fact, as he heads through Blanchimont down towards the bus stop chicane. Turn it right, turn it left, get on the power, don't slide the rear. It's a good exit. What's the final time? Is a 42.230. Have a go at that, everyone else, says Gattuso. That is a major time. 9 tenths of a second so far to the good. We've got who's going to be next? I think we're going to have Keza next, but he's not on a good lap. He's going to have to. He's starting another one. Jack T and 53 Synopsis into the final chicane. He's half a second up at the moment on his current best. 43.2 would put him up a position into third. It's a 43.0 to put himself into second. Good stuff from the championship leader. It's not really Clutch Kerry. It's Maras, who is on a lap this time around. Currently sitting in 10th place, just inside that top 10. I'm going to achieve 42, 43. It's a 43.7, 6th place for the Haas so far. Kriksik don't have a time for him through Sector 2, so this is going to be a nice little surprise for us. See what he can pull off in the Ferrari. He's got a lot of time to make up here against Gattuso. Up to the line he goes, and it's going to be a 43.097. He does improve, but he doesn't improve enough to retake second place. Jack currently on the front row, but what can Ginger Tiger say about that? Crosses the line, goes third quickest for Ginger Tiger, 43.047. I think that's Mikey in the background, sets a 44.504. He goes 13th, not what he would have been looking for. Someone else just moved. Typhoon is up into 5th place at 43.7. We've got Kent on the way to the line. The leg is going to be starting potentially in 10th. It depends on Sir Spud. Kent to the line. It's a 43.891. Doesn't improve. Stays in 8th place for now. We've got Keza into the pits. It wasn't a good lap for the Red Bull. Sir Spud, he's nowhere near on a lap. He'll be coming into the pits 11th place, but it is going to be the man who's gone back in the pits, Gattuso, who will claim pole position for round 4 of the Equal Performance League here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Just going to watch Jack's car because Gattuso's in the pits. So you're looking at the second place man on the grid, a front row start for the championship leader, and it's good news for him because Kent is all the way down in 8th place. So nice little advantage here for Jack in the in terms of championship. I'm not really. I guess we're waiting for Spud to be wheeled back into the garage while we're still rolling around the circuit at the moment. So there it is. Jack Team 3 stops us in second place. It was a good time at the end to steal that second place away from Kriksik, who actually lost 2 places in the end. But your grid order for the Belgian Grand Prix: Gattuso will start from pole position with Jack alongside. Row 2 is Ginger Tiger and Kriksik. Row 3 is Typhoon and Keza. On row 4 you have Maris and Kent with Clips, Kiri and the Leg running at the top 10 on row 5. Sir Spud and the Cat share row 6 with Mikey and O'Steven occupying row 7, and Massive Marshall, the only man to start on the 8th row, as he is 15th and last in tonight's qualifying session. And you know how we said there might be rain at the end of the race? It's very heavy rain at the start, so the approximate weather coming in full force. Wow. Full wet tyres. And who has gone with a wet setup? This could be a critical note here. I think if everyone has gone for a dry setup, we're in for a very interesting race. If someone out there has gone for a wet setup, they could be quids in here, because this is going to be horrendous on a dry setup. So welcome to the Formula Boat race here at the Belgian Grand Prix. That was not on the radar. So the question is, who is going? By the looks of the chat that I've got, Marshall could be in good stead here. It sounds like he's running a bit higher downforce, which is surprising considering he had a massive wobble coming out of the bus stop chicane and qualifying. We're about to get underway. So here we go then. We have a formation lap, which we didn't have last week. So we are... Let's have a look. Let's see. Has anyone braved? Yes, we do have some people braving it on the intermediates. As everyone gets going. So intermediate runners are Keza, Kent and Spud. So it'll be interesting to see which of if those guys can actually keep hold of their cars, and if that will work for them, if the rain's going to ease up early enough for that to work. Meanwhile, we'll just quickly go through the top 5 in each of the standings. And the drivers, Jack leads on 36 points with Kent on 34. Sam Plan has 32 with Flaherty on 31, and Typhoon rounds out the top 5 on 30 points. In terms of the team standings, it is Williams leading the way on 63, none of them here tonight though. McLaren have 38 with Aston Martin tied with them on 38, but McLaren have a win compared to Aston Martin's second. Red Bull have 34, they're joint with Mercedes, but Red Bull have won 2 races this season. So that's why they're in 4th, and Mercedes is in 5th. So we're coming back round from the formation lap. I think it's Massive Marshall back there. Just taking a little bit of time, but we line up on the grid. Unfortunately, Spud couldn't quite park it correctly in the grid box, so he's going to have a disadvantage off the start line. But here we go then, round 4, the Belgian Grand Prix. We have the green flag, we have the 5 red lights, and we are racing at Spa-Francorchamps for the 4th round of the season. And who's got the best getaway? Jack certainly hasn't. He's lost a place to Ginger Tiger. We head up towards turn number 1. Let's quickly keep scanning through the pack, see if we get any sort of incidents. It looks like we've got away clean. Lots of sliding on the way out, but we are cleanly through turn 1 at La Source. Keza challenging Kriktik, coming down towards Rouge and Ready on that. It's very close, but Kriktik just about holds on. Although, has Keza got a run coming up towards the Kemmel Straight? No, he hasn't. At the front, Ginger Tiger may be... Oh, that's a McLaren. I think that's Mikey, who's gone up into 10th place so far. Having a little wiggle on the grass. Into Le Com we go. Oh, that was close between a few cars there. Oh, big slide for the Haas of, I think that was Clips. trying to lay the power down. But Kent into 7th. Oh, that's late on the brakes from Clips. Kiri almost goes into the back of Kent, just about avoids him. Great driving to avoid a collision there. As we head through the corner, No Name, and down the hill towards Puon. Oh, that was a big moment for Keza coming out of the corner, No Name. He's going to go side by side with his teammate. Dangerous through Puon in these conditions. And Kent just about skates around the outside of Keza to go into 6th place. Those intermediates not working too badly at the moment. It just depends if this rain eases off further. And go through campus, big slide for the Haas there. Back on front, no, Gattuso has built himself a 10, well, I'm going to say 10, pretty much a 1 second gap now as you head up towards Blanchimont. For the first time of 22 laps. And this could feel like a very long 22 laps if the rain is here to stay. The boss up chicane, and everyone just... As that's your tyre strategies right now, is wet to wet, is according to the game. Two Red Bulls thinking differently. Ken right at the backside of Cryptic. Down the hill, Rouge. Ready on, almost pushing Crixik, and he's going to have a good run here, is Kent. Meanwhile, it's going to be Jack to 2nd place. Is it as we head down towards Lecon? They get quite close. Jack decides better of it than to try and make a move on that particular occasion. Knows he's a little bit too far behind and too much risk involved on lap number 2. He knows he's got time to make this overtake on Ginger Tiger, and Gattuso not really pulling away as much as he'd probably like to at this stage. But I must admit, Kent is making those intermediate tyres work very nicely. He's now on the back of Typhoon, and he is looking very, very quick. And he just seems to have infinite traction and grip. All around the outside. Gonna keep it held for the second part of Lafania. But Typhoon's still there. Down towards campus. Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy, but Kent will get the move done. Courtesy of being on that outside. Oh, big snap of oversteer for Typhoon into the gravel. Round he goes. He's still trying to hold it. That's a brilliant save. How has Typhoon kept that one in a straight line? Snapped one way, snapped another, was all over in the gravel. He's going to be overtaken by Sir Spud, but he's still in this race. He's got a chance to get back through the field, but that is a great save as Jack now side by side with Ginger Tiger. He knows he's going to have to get past him because Kent's on his way. Gattuso setting the fastest lap of the race, but there goes Kent, a 2:08.858. Kent to the inside. That's not going to work, is it? Just amazingly no contact at all. As Jack just about keeping 2nd. Kent going side by side with Ginger Tiger. Into Eau Rouge we go. Ready on. Whoa, that's insane. Ginger Tiger having to take to the escape, but Kent now up into 2nd. The intermediates, the way to go. Oh, collision between Keza and Ginger. Keza into the wall, I think potentially front wing damage as Jack goes side by side with the Mercedes. Oh, and here comes Cryptic down the inside. Helicopter view showing us great. Oh, collision between Cryptic and Ginger this time. Down towards Bruel, and Ginger getting shuffled wide by Keza. As now Clips Kiri sees an opportunity to go past the Mercedes. Around the outside of turn 11, and he's going to complete that move. Mikey now on the back of Ginger Tiger. Oh my word, another little collision. Tiny little taps here, and amazingly everyone's still going at the moment. Mikey, oh my word, that's a big slide for the McLaren in 8th place. Just about held it though. I'm trying to see, did Keza pick up any damage? Because I pretty sure he did clip the wall, but it looks like the front wing looks okay from a visual perspective. And the question is, what can Ken do? Oh, as Jack has a slide coming out of campus and into Stavolo. Going going to have Krixik behind him coming up towards the bus stop chicane. Kent is closing the gap on Gattuso. I mean, it does make you wonder who's going to blink first of the wetter runners, because Kent is going well. He's going fast. But the question is that down to the tyres? Is that down to the setup? And Gattuso has said, I've had enough of these wets. We need to go on to the inters. Kent a 2-minute .3. We've got another one in the pits. Mikey goes into the pits now. So it's looking like the intermediate tyre was the right call. Keza, side by side nearly. Oh, there's pushing through. Rouge pushes him wide. Here comes Clips Kiri. Says, thank you very much for scrapping. I'm going to have third place for now. Keza really involved in some wars at the moment as he goes round the outside of Krixik. Into Lecombe. And through Bruel. Down to Bruel. Oh, that's a bit wide. That from Clips Kiri. Has a big slide, but just about holds it. And here comes Keza. Clips Kiri looking like he's pulling a handbrake. Going into Bruel just a little bit there. Into 11, and Krixik unable to find a gap to get back past the Haas. Say that 10 times quicker. Jack is currently in second place, 2.3 away. He's going to have to make a pit stop here, I think, for the intermediate tyres. The wets are not the correct tyre now. The rain has definitely eased off compared to what it was at the start of this race. Oh, and was that clip? That's Krixik off into the gravel. He's going to have to be careful rejoining as here comes Sir Spud. He made the right choice on tyres. He's on intermediates. Question is, you can see the pace difference. Jack doesn't have a choice. He's going to have to come in. He's going to have lost a lot of ground to Gattuso, I think. Through Blanchimont. Keza all over the back of the McLaren. Yeah, Jack just decides to let Keza go, and surely the McLaren... No, he's not coming in the pits. Are we expecting more rain? A 58.9 from Kent. Fastest time. Fortunately, we don't get a last lap indicator as Massive Marshall is in the pits. So Stephen continues on. We've got Krixik, Marshall, Maras, the leg all in the pits right now. Gattuso up into 8th place. I do wonder, where's Mikey? There's Mikey in all this. He's going to get up into 9th place. I mean, that's how powerful the tyre change has been, that Mikey is now ahead of Krixik. Understandably, obviously, Krixik did have that moment which dropped him back, but still. As Gattuso past the Sauber of O'Stephen. You feel like Jack may be waiting for that safety car to try and get a cheaper pit stop and hold position. It's the only reason to be carrying on right now in these conditions with the wet tyre. And through Lafania and Clips Kiri all over the back of Jack. Jack seemingly... I know Jack doesn't struggle in the wet conditions. I think maybe his setup is not really adapted for these conditions right now. Maybe just hoping, and maybe that's why he's also on the wet tyres, because maybe he just feels they're providing him just a little bit of extra grip to help compensate for that, for the setup that he's probably running, which will be a dry setup. I think most people will be running that dry setup. Into the bus stop, a little bit wide from Jack, but he keeps it just about in bounds. A 57.5, lap times are getting quicker. Keza 57.4, so Keza now looking to start making inroads into his own teammates for the race win. Sir Spud's up into 6th place. It's been a fantastic drive by him so far. Mikey has lost positions to Krixik and Typhoon, but there are people ahead of him that potentially will fall behind him later in this race. Meanwhile, Clips Kiri. Closest battle on circuit right now. There he goes. ERS used. Draws alongside. Draws ahead. Oh, the championship leader. See the front end just sliding around for Jack. He just doesn't quite have that front end purchase that he probably would like to have. Meanwhile, Typhoon only 7/10 off the back of Frixic here. And just a reminder, there's only 3 people that started on intermediates. That was Kent, Keza and Sir Spud. Everyone else on the intermediates have made a pit stop in this race already. And Jack already fallen to over a second behind Clips, showing the slight lack of pace there at this stage of the Grand Prix for the McLaren, as Typhoon is reeling in Crixic here. Crixic maybe not feeling quite as nice on these intermediate tyres. Kent at 56.4. The lap times keep getting quicker. Keza was slower as Gattuso and Sir Spud side by side. A bit of a collision through the chicane. Sir Spud will maintain position for now. Hard fair racing between these two. So Stephen has decided to call it quits on the wet tyre. Typhoon at 54.999. Going quick out there in the Aston Martin. Probably ruining the fact that he started on those wet tyres. And Gattuso does finally get Sir Spud, does he? No, not quite. Sir Spud still down the inside. Bit of a tap. I must admit, probably a little bit ambitious that from Spud, but everyone survived, so no harm done. Typhoon still on the back of Crixic, still can't quite get past. Jack is now 8/10 behind Clips Curie as they head through P1. He's closing. Ginger Tiger in the background. I mean, these guys must just be hoping get to lap 11 or something of that nature, come in the pits, get a set of intermediates on, sort of weather out this early sort of storm of the tyres. There's a bit of a slide from Clips Curie there. Maris is right on the back of Massive Marshall. Kent at 54.914. A bit of a slide there from Maris. Doesn't help his cause, and Jack has finally decided it's time to pit for the Inters. How far is this going to drop him down the field as Gattuso puts in a 54.7? I think Jack was hoping for the safety car, hoping for something else to happen. Oh, that's very interesting. Jack from wets to hards. He's gone for the slick tyre. Oh, Stephen is actually, sorry. Oh, Stephen was the first one to go onto the slick tyre. Mikey in the pits now. We've got people in the pits, I think, for slick tyres. Mikey, hard compound tyre for him. Gattuso gets past Ginger Tiger, but right now that's down a straight. Not a very exciting overtake. Soft tyres from Massive Marshall. So he's going to make another pit stop in this race. Mediums from Maras. Probably going to make another pit stop for himself as well, because mediums 14 laps on the medium around here, probably not going to work. So he's probably going medium soft. And Jack has picked up 3 seconds of penalties for track infringements. Typhoon has finally got past Critic, but now this is going to be interesting. Jack has to get these tyres up to temperature. Gattuso, 3 seconds for track infringements. We're going to have to look at the front of the field now. Right, gap to leader. Jack currently 29.3 and closing. Until he got towards Pouon, but now he's back to closing the gap a little bit again. Is it too early for the hard tyres? We've got to get them up to temperature, got to get them into that operating window. What does Kent do? Kent does come in, will come into the pits. Will Keza follow? Yes, he will. Potential double stack for the Red Bulls. Jack is already past Crixic. So showing it's medium tyres for Kent. He thinks he's going to take those all the way. A slight double stack is soft tyres for Keza. Clips Kiri into the pits now for his stop. Where will Jack feed out? He's going to be behind probably the 2 Red Bulls. But he's gained time on everyone else. Clips Kiri mediums, Ginger Tiger mediums, Gattuso mediums, Sir Spud is onto the mediums, Hars for Typhoon and Crixik. A real mixture. We have a Skittles board of tyres going on right now, and there was one point we had, I think we had every single tyre on display in that leaderboard. I know Stephen has set the fastest lap of the race on a 52.9 with the hard compound tyre. Obviously, the likes of Jack and Stephen, they're looking to go to the end of the race. Anyone who's on a hard tyre, looking to go straight to the end of this race now. Anyone who's got medium and soft, they will be having another stop, but they are looking to have the pace advantage and make up the time as Keza picks up 3 seconds for track infringements. Massive Marshall gets past the Haas of Maris down the Kemmel straight. But yeah, anyone on the medium and soft, they're looking to make use of the pace advantage and basically make up a pit stop worth of time here. Oh, big slide from Keza. The track is dried up very quickly. Be a bit green at the moment, so it'll still be rubbering in, but this just got very, very interesting as Typhoon and Crixik now. Very close. Crixik, I think Crixik's car in the dry is better than Typhoon, so role reversal here as O'Stephen has gone around the outside. That's a great move from O'Stephen, completing it around the outside of Lafania chicane. Here comes Crixik though, he's going to get past Typhoon. That Ferrari very quick in the dry. Jack 49.7, that's fastest lap of the race. 2.7 away from Keza as here comes Typhoon looking to react back into the bus stop chicane. Can't quite do it. 10 laps in the books. What are in the books? 10, we're on lap 10. It's 9 laps in the books. And, Typhoon not giving up on this one as Massive Marshall does a 58.6, but he is on the soft compound of tyre. So expect that gap for Jack to Keza to grow just in these early stages. Typhoon DRS enabled, DRS is active, and through goes Typhoon into 8th place with the help of DRS. Maris has got back past O'Stephen, and it looks like the cat was having a little look but thought better of it. Couldn't quite make the move happen. Gattuso currently in 6th place. He was our pole man. He was the first to blink off the wet tyres onto a set of inters, and then he ended up going on to the mediums, so maybe should have stuck at it with the wets. But at the front, it is Kent who leads from Keza. It's a Red Bull 1-2. Followed by Jack in 3rd. Clips Kiri is in 4th with Ginger Tiger in 5th. Gattuso is in 6th. And trying to catch up to that Mercedes. Kent puts in a 47.1. And Keza 46.499. It's good times at the front then. Gattuso is 6th, trying to hunt down the Mercedes of Ginger. Sir Spud is in 7th, with Typhoon is in 8th. Spud's got an 8-second gap to Typhoon, obviously courtesy of starting on those intermediate tyres. Crixik 9th, Mikey, as Keza picks up another set of 3 seconds. Mikey getting a bit skittish coming out of the bus stop chicane, but he's in 10th. Massive Marshall in 11th, with Maris 12th, O'Stephen 13th, the Cat 14th. And the leg, it hasn't been a great race for him at the moment. He's 7.8 seconds down on the Cat, but still very much going in this race. As Gattuso down the inside of Ginger Tiger through Lecombe. DRS assisted down the Kemmel straight, but to move into the top 5 for our pole sitter. Crixik down the inside of Typhoon. Get that one done. And O'Stephen back past Maris. Oh, Maris closing in, but couldn't quite return any sorts of favours of overtaking there. Big slide there from Typhoon as he tries to re-hunt down Crixik. Both of them on the hard compound tyre. Massive Marshall is making inroads into Mikey, but say he's probably not making enough inroads here to warrant the extra pit stop right now. I don't think the softs really last that long around here. I could be wrong. I might get 4 or 5 laps out of them. Get it up to the line. It isn't going to be quicker. 3.9 the gap back to Jack at the moment. Gattuso sets the fastest lap of 45.957, but he did have DRS on that previous lap. No, Maras goes one way, goes another into the bus stop. Touch of wheel-to-wheel contact, but again it's hardware racing and they continue on their journey. Maris really looking to get past the Sauber here of O'Stephen, and I wouldn't have done that there because he's just given away DRS to O'Stephen, made his life a lot harder here. You know, O'Stephen poking his nose around, coming up towards Eau Rouge and through Radion. DRS open, and here we go. Oh, we're going to have a double overtake here by the Alpine of It's the Cat down the inside of O'Stephen. He goes. They both got past Maris. Good room left by O'Stephen. Oh, but it really does suffer on the second part of Lecomte. Maris runs into the back of him. Don't think the end plate's still there for the Haas. But It's the Cat unable to make the move on the Kick Sauber. You just see where O'Stephen just left that cars with. Good racing by him to leave the room there. He just tightened up the left hand part of Lecomte, and right now he's got Cat all over him, and Maris now looking to the outside of Lafagna. We've got a yellow flag. That's for Sir Spud, I think, has spun coming out of Stavolo. He has got back going again, but he's lost a significant amount of time. Mikey all over the back of Typhoon, so something's happened there with Typhoon as well. Ooh, that's late on the brakes from Mikey. Dives to the left, make sure he doesn't make any contact. Comes out to the bus stop chicane. Klipskiri slowly pulling a gap into Jack, who really isn't losing much time to Kent or Keza. At this stage of the Grand Prix, Mikey looking to force an error here. Keza, another 3 seconds. He is racking and stacking them. Oh, Jack's in the gravel. Lost his front wing. He's lost it through Lecomte. Mikey has got past Typhoon, but the championship leader in strife, he's going to have to come in the pits because that's a new front wing. Very unfortunate. Probably a set of medium tyres at this stage of the Grand Prix to try and get him through. You don't have a second set of hard, so he's going to have to go to the medium tyre here and probably hope for a safety car late in this race. Mikey running extremely wide through Pouon. Unfortunately, not really the line you want to take. It's not the fastest line through there for the McLaren driver. Meanwhile, O'Stephen has managed to fend off the Cat and Maris on this current lap at the moment. Light flashing though, so a bit of regen through Lafagna. Here we go, Jack, right and left, right into the pit lane. It's going to be a painful stop now for Jack T and 53 Synopsis as Sir Spud crosses the line to go on to lap 14. Jack's got a bit of a recovery drive to come now. Question is, can he get himself back through this pack? It's not an easy place to gain time. Ooh, as Mikey has a big snap coming out of La Source. And Jack is now at the back of the pack. Or is he? Yeah, I think he will be, because the leg should have a run on him going down. Yeah, Jack makes sure he gives that little bit of room as Typhoon to the inside of Mikey RK. I mean, if these two are smart, they'll work together here. Play a bit of leapfrog. As though Stephen has now got past Massive Marshall, so those their soft tyres are already gone off. It's about the only saving grace this for Jack is those around him, those in front of him. He is already back past the leg. But those around him will also have the pit again, so he may be able to gain a bit of time on people to keep himself in this race. But Krixik at the moment probably in a very nice position. He's in 7th, but he's on the hard tyres, which will go to the end of this Grand Prix, I believe. Ginger Tiger starting to reel back in Gattuso here. It's just flirting around half a second. Medium tyres as Mikey has managed to get back past Typhoon, so Spud picks up 3 seconds now for disobeying track limits. Let's just have a little look. Penalties: 9 seconds for Keza, 3 seconds for Gattuso, 3 seconds for Sir Spud, 3 seconds for Jack. But Ginger Tiger, within a second, I don't think he's quite close enough to challenge under DRS, but as Massive Marshall has come into the pits, will be a free place for Jack on that occasion. Might go another set of softs here, Massive Marshall, if he's got another set. Onto the mediums for the RB driver. Still not quite close enough. The Cat now picks up 3 seconds as Maris and Cat just picking up 3 seconds. He now goes past Maris with a bit of DRS assistance, as you can see there. Jack in the background now flirting with the points. Member in IRL, top 12 scored points from the race. Oh, a bit wide for Maris into the gravel. That will be an easy invitation this for Jack to go down the inside at Bruel, and Jack won't reject an invitation like that. Meanwhile, the battle for 3rd is starting to heat up, but it is also going to become the battle for 2nd, because Keza is now losing time hand over fist right now. 1.9 seconds the gap now to clips Kiri. Surely, no, the Red Bull driver is still going to carry on. He must be thinking of trying to go soft in this stint. There's no way those are going to run to the end, not at a reasonable pace anyway. The battle of 8th place between Typhoon and Mikey still raging on. The leg has got past Maras coming out of Stabelos. Gattuso, we got moves going everywhere. Gattuso making a move into a Rouge. That's going to give Ginger Tiger a really nice run here. Picks up the slipstream with Gattuso. Gattuso's got DRS as well. So clips Kiri. Unfortunate there that he got overtaken after the detection point. Well, I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but it looked like Typhoon letting Mikey back through. Mikey 9.8 behind Crixie. They just lost a bunch of time. I know Steven has now joined the party. Maris in the pits, we got a yellow flag. That is Sir Spud, who's had a moment. I do wonder, was there any sort of incident with Crixik? And that's Typhoon. Typhoon is round at the chicane of Les Combes. Just about getting it round in time before the leg comes through. So action happening all around. Crixik picks up 3 seconds now. Mikey in 8th position, 6.8 behind the Sauber of Sir Spud. Jack only 2.1 and closing on O'Steven. So expect some team orders to come through soon for the McLarens when Jack comes to play. Jack will want to be getting past these two as fast as he can. Keep trying to make his way up, but at the front it is Keza under pressure from Gattuso. Ginger Tiger clips Kiri is there as well. Ginger Tiger down the inside of Gattuso. Fantastic move into La Source, and he's going to keep DRS because he's behind Keza. 7/10 to the good as we head towards the hill of Eau Rouge and Radion. Up the hill we go. Let's have a look at this from Kez's point of view. Side by side between Gattuso and Ginger Tiger. And blimey, look at that speed difference. That's got to be with some ERS usage as well. Gattuso into second. Ginger Tiger couldn't stick with him, and this is going to be a problem for Ginger Tiger because this is going to allow Gattuso to escape. Jack is... Oh, Stephen has got past Mikey. The two McLarens will need to work together. Typhoon is out, so he is retired in the pits. It's not a crash, so no safety car there. Jack looking to go down the inside of Mikey. Can't quite get O'Stephen though. Look at the grip difference. Jack's got to be careful here. He can't afford to have another incident. Down to Bruel. He looks down the inside and decides better off for now. Keza has now lost out to Ginger and Clips in the meantime. Nice lines from the gravel, but Jack down the inside of Puon. And a pretty reasonably nice move there from the McLaren. Oh, that's Typhoon. Typhoon's car retiring at Eau Rouge. Question is, will Keza come into the pits? The answer is no. He's going to stay out. He's got 13.4 to Krixik. Now, I must admit, even though his tyres are not going to be very nice, 5 laps, that's a lot of time for Krixik to pull here. So this could be the plan for Keza, is that actually he wasn't really aiming for anything other than 5th place at that point of the race. We'll keep an eye on that gap as Clips Kiri gets past Ginger Tiger. Problem is they're 1.7 away from Gattuso, who's in turn 8.5 seconds away from Kent. And Stevens managed to keep tabs here with Jack. I think he's got DRS as well, which isn't going to help Mikey in his pursuit for an extra point. Maris gets the fastest lap, 1:45.7. He won't get the point for that because he's not in the top 12, but it's something to go on the record. As Mikey now picks up 3 seconds of penalties, which is not really what he needed when he's trying to battle with O'Stephen. Just a reminder of these penalties: 3 seconds for Gattuso, 9 seconds for Keza, 3 for Krixik, 3 for Sir Spud, 3 for Jack, 3 for Mikey, and 3 for the Cat. So Keza needs at least 6 seconds then on Krixik to make sure he keeps that position in 5th. More stops for everyone. A few people with 3 stops, most with 2, and some with 1. So yeah, very, very much a mixed grid as Mikey now falls outside of a second to O'Stephen. He's going to have to get that reeled back in. He's going to want to be putting pressure on O'Stephen to make mistakes, go wide, pick up track limit penalties to get himself back in that fight. 5.2 away from Sir Spud. 5 lap the fresher tyres. Krixik now down to 11.4. The leg now picks up 3 seconds worth of penalties himself as here comes Ginger Tiger down the Camel Straight. DRS assistance into Lecom they go. Clips Kiri now picks up 3 seconds, so Ginger Tiger looking pretty safe and secure in 3rd place. He's 3.1 behind Gattuso, who's got 3 seconds. Massive Marshall now picks up 3 seconds. Only 4 drivers left that are running have not picked up track infringement penalties so far. We'll watch this battle for 3rd place between Ginger and Clips. Clips now has to get onto the back of Ginger, start trying to get him to make some mistakes, because that's the only way right now. He gets back into this fight with the Mercedes and a fight for podium position. To La Source for Ginger Tiger for the 20th time. We've got 3 laps left in this race. Krixik is not catching fast enough to get onto the back of although 9.6, 3.5 seconds to go. Could still get this Krixik for a top 5, but it's going to be a bit of an ass. Jack is 3 seconds away from Sir Spud. He'll be looking to get up into 7th, and that'll pretty much be the recovery drive unless anyone else makes mistakes. It's too late now for a safety car. The game will not throw a safety car as of this point. It would, well, I would like to think it wouldn't, because it wouldn't get everyone back towards the safety car in time for the restart. The cat has caught up to the back of Mikey, so Mikey now really struggling on those hard tyres. The Alpine looking for 10th place and 3 points to his tally. He's going to drive past that McLaren. The question is, will he be able to drive away from the McLaren? 7/10 the gap between Ginger Tiger and Clips Kiri. All Ginger has to do is keep this clean. He's got himself a podium position. On board with the Haas. Anyway, a little bit wide. He's got to be careful if he's on doing that, because it will pick up track limit penalty infringements. He's on the back of the Alpine now, as we go right and left. There's Stephen just up the road. Through Blanchimont they go, and the McLaren really starting to reel in the Alpine at the end of this lap. But he's not going to have enough of a chance into the bus stop to make a move. He will need to just keep himself close in order to have a chance with DRS down the Camel Straight. Clips Kiri half a second. Down through Bruel he goes. Mikey then. What can Mikey RK13 do through Rouge Radion? Half a second, that's doable. Jack now 1.5, 1.4 away from Spud. Mikey not close enough to make a move into Lecom. And you just get the sense that the cat's just about got Mikey's number here. They are reeling in O'Stephen at quite the pace. You just get a sense that looking at the steering wheel, there's Stephen trying to get well prepared as Jack now. Clips Kiri, what's he going to be doing? Oh dear, Stephen's left the session. That's going to put him in AI mode. I don't know if I have him as a friend. See if we can get Stephen back into this lobby. Fortunately, it's not going to help him in terms of Mikey and the cat. And the rain is starting to come down again. It's only light, so it won't matter too much. Kent is still leading the way. Clips Kiri. Goes past Ginger Tiger, but Ginger Tiger does not have to be in front of him to take that place. But Jack's going to play this smart, isn't he? He's going to wait for the Camel Straight. Question is, how quickly is it going to get wet again on this lap? It's a long lap here at Spa-Francorchamps. Spud picks up 3 seconds of penalties. Perfect for Jack, because now he doesn't really have to overtake Spud. He will do, though, because he is a racing driver and he would prefer to do it on the circuit. Clips Kiri behind Ginger. Couldn't keep the place. Meanwhile, Mikey was trying to get past the cat. That was probably his best opportunity, but he couldn't quite take it. Meanwhile, we're going to go to the front because we haven't seen much of this man since the start of this race. He started on the right tyre. Krikzik has caught up and overtaken Keza. Keza is struggling big time on those tyres, but his teammate, who has an interesting go out with a bus-up chicane, really loses some time there. It is Kent who wins the Belgian Grand Prix, followed by Gattuso. Ginger Tiger is going to fend off Clips Curie, even though he doesn't have to, for third place. Clips will finish in fourth. Krikzik coming through the bus-stop chicane in the Ferrari. He's going to come home for a fifth place finish. Keza, I think, will just about keep. So we've got a spin. I think that's the cat. Keza will just about keep sixth from Jack, who is, DRS disabled, so that it's getting really wet out there now. Jack finishes in seventh. Sir Spud in eighth. Mikey just has a tiptoe around the chicane. Oh, loses the back end. Just about sticks with it. He's going to take ninth place. Oh, Stephen. Oh, that's a big spin. Almost a big spin for the cat. Oh, Stephen 10th. The cat is in 11th. The leg is 12th. Massive Marshall now coming through the final corner. He's going to claim 13th. The first person outside the points, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Maras will come through the final chicane. He claims 14th. And the last classified finisher, Typhoon, the only retirement of the day. Mikey RK13, the game decides you're the driver of the day. So there's your podium. Kent on the top step. And with that, the lead of the championship will go to him after the unfortunate incident with Jack losing that front wing. Kent will take to the front of the pack, and after 4 rounds of racing, it's a third Red Bull win. You have a good recovery drive from Gattuso and Ginger Tiger, which is a solid race from the Mercedes driver. And apparently I don't get to see the results, so I'd love to go through the list with you and tell you biggest movers, etc, but I can't, because the game has decided I am not worthy of seeing those final results. What I can tell you, however, is when it loads up on the next round of this season. If I can get something to work, like Discord. Discord's not helping me whatsoever here. So, the next round. That's next week, the 11th of February, we head to Singapore for round number 5. Then obviously after that you'll have on the 19th. We'll have 19th. 18th, sorry. 18th will then go back to Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. But from myself, hopefully you've enjoyed tonight. Yes, I think Discord has decided not to work at the moment, Kent. I'll agree with you on that one. But hopefully you've enjoyed the coverage tonight for the Equal Performance League. So next week we head to Singapore, which is normally quite an entertaining race from a spectating perspective. So join us next week for that one. But from everyone here at Invictus Racing League, I've been JPH. Hopefully you've enjoyed tonight. Join us next week for more Equal Performance action. But for now, good night.